Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Dogs. I'm Susan Allen Medium. I'm an evidential psychic medium and animal communicator. This podcast is a place to share insights into the spirit world and soulful stories of animals and what they can teach us about a life aligned with love. So grab your mug and let's dive into some magic together. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited. Hi, Steph.
Hi, Susan. How are you?
I need more caffeine today. I was like, I better figure out another caffeinated beverage, coffee, of course, with more caffeine. I mean, I just need more caffeine today, but it's okay.
How many cups have you had?
I think three. And
Oh,
these are like 14-ounce cup. I mean, I had a very intense reading yesterday with two ladies, and it was so evidential that it was so moving to me.
right.
I actually got emotional, and I am an emotional medium, but I don't get emotional. But it was
Hmm.
so profound. Can I just give you a little takeaway?
I would love it. Yes. And so would everybody else.
Okay, the woman's daughter came in and she's showing me loved, she had cowboy boots on, she was dancing on a bar.
Oh.
And the mother said she went to an expo for a job once. And she came home and she said, Mom, I just want to be in that movie like Coyote Ugly, where the girls dance on bars with cowboy boots. And I still, like, when I repeat this story, I get the God bumps
Mhm.
going through me. So, and I'm gonna cry again, so maybe we should just move on and
Okay.
get to the
Get
dogs.
to the dogs. Okay. Well, today we want to talk about a topic hotly contested in the spiritual and pet community, and that is reincarnation. Do
Really?
your pets come back? Can souls revisit you more than once in the same lifetime? And if a pet is meant to be with us, can it find us not just in this lifetime, but in its next lifetime too? So I'm going to open up with, can human souls come back in animal bodies? The whole idea, the soul is eternal and bodies are temporary. Can they make that cross? That's a big question out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And most of us that were raised like in Catholicism, not most of us, or that have like this religion background like I did. I mean, we were Catholics, and Catholics don't believe in reincarnation. So remember, I told you I learned as I went because I am like self-taught with this. And then later on, I was like, I think I should take some classes. But what had to happen was I figured this all out with my feet on the ground and through the love of people and my community that I read for. And it was that dog Pickles in Marina Del Rey where I really started doing this for testimonials. And I love this dog so much. And I would walk with his mom, Irene, we're still friends, and he would he would talk to me. I'd walk Rosie with Pickles and Irene, and it was that giant dog that I think I said on a previous episode he gave me that she would talk about his big nose and sing him a song.
Yes.
And he said her he was her dad in a
Dad, yeah.
previous life. And I was like, am I getting this right? And she said, I'm Buddhist, and we do believe that an animal soul will come back at least once, as a human will come back as at least once as a dog. And I was
Yeah.
like, and so I take it one step further. Why would it only be a dog? It would be any animal soul that wants to be close to you, that is reincarnated with your soul family in this lifetime.
Hmm. I mean, it's cool. It's really cool to think about. How can we tell or recognize when that soul comes to us?
So our minds get in the way.
Hmm. Totally.
Like, I have a little pug that every time I open the butter drawer, she goes ballistic. And I
You've
used to
talked about
give,
this. Yeah.
I did, yeah. And I have a client, she said she wanted her dog to reincarnate, and she kept asking him, how will I know it's you? How will I know it's
Yeah.
you? And I gave her like specific things. And then when she brought the dog home, puppy, 8 weeks old, immediately that dog knew the same tricks. I mean, you can't make it up, right?
Yeah.
And there's like the moment where that dog will look at you. It's quite profound. And I always have found spirit is so subtle. So we choose to not look for these. It's not a choice, it's that our rational minds get in the way.
Right. Logic.
Because
Like that can't be happening.
right, because we are raised to use logic and our brains to perform and to get out of the way of error and problems. So that brain, just like in meditation, I've always said, you need a mantra to hook into I am love and I am life. I'm love and I am life. You have to hook into a mantra. It's I am love and I am light, not life. But that's a good one.
They both work.
Yeah, they both work. And you need your brain to hook into a mantra to really go into that space because your brain is just in your head to think. And you might have to say, I'm love and I'm light like 4,000 times in your mind before you would relax and let go.
Hmm.
Because we're so based in rationality that how do you unhook and let go? Like I've always been in my head, you know? The worry brain, the head is just like born that way, right? The only time I'm really able to let go is through meditation, or the greatest relief is reading other people and reading pets because I can move. I don't, it's beautiful. Like it's the most relaxed state I think I'm in is what I'm doing my readings. So
Right.
we want a person that is looking for an answer from their pets to be in a relaxed state or believe. Because the more that you believe in the miracles and what you would call your imagination, the more spirit will profoundly provide more. Now, it's not to say don't be like, you have to still be present. Like we're running families and businesses, you still have to have the presence of mind. But for a few hours or a few moments a day, let go and believe what you see
Yeah, it's a
is
choice.
spirit. It is a choice. And I'd rather have that world going on than be in reality. Why do
Right.
I need reality? Reality is not what it's cracked up to be, said Albert Einstein. I kind of believe him. Imagination is probably one of the most important things and transformative things. That's why children see spirit and they're so
Hmm.
miraculous.
People always say, trust in the universe or just, trust. And I'm a worrier. You know this. But so what if you miss it? What if your pet comes back and you skip by them at the shelter or you don't get that? What if?
It's not mistakable, or you won't, if it's meant for
Okay.
you, it comes to you.
That's what I wanted to bring up because you
Yes,
have said what's meant for you will not pass you by. And I
it will
want to tell that to
never.
people. Yes.
It will never pass you by. The, you can look for the signs and the symbols, or you can just let go. Like I had no interest in pugs. No interest. I wasn't a pug person. My husband was talking me out of it, but I knew somehow
Just
if this
felt it.
pug wasn't, I told you, if this pug wasn't meant for me, I would give it back to them. Or I have like so many friends that are pug freaks. My vet, who's a good friend, she runs a senior pug rescue. I mean, I knew people that were pug friendly.
Hmm.
The minute I went to pick up this dog and I looked down, she looked up at me and I knew. It was like, oh my God, I'm in love. If that doesn't happen to you, or you don't have that feeling, either call an animal communicator, call me, or wait, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait for that moment.
Don't rush it.
Yeah.
I I don't want to make the podcast about my stories, but I have to bring this up because it's been
I
on my
love
mind for
it.
days. This has been
Yeah, go
like
ahead.
heavily on my mind, and you've brought it up, so we're gonna go there. So my son had a very special cat, and they grew up together. And she came to our house when he was one and she was one, and we don't know how she did. This beautiful long hair tortie. Don't know where she came from. She was no one's cat, and we took her in because that's what we do. And they were in love. She slept with him every night. In February of this year,
Mm.
we knew something was off. She was slowing down, but she was only about 9 or 10. um, she had some sort of stroke brain
I
thing.
remember
She
this. I
passed.
remember
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
it was so surprising, shocking, but worse as a mother watching him because he still has nights he won't sleep in his bed because she's gone. Um, so
Oh,
I foster, I rescue. I've placed at least 13 cats just through the shelter I'm working with now.
yeah.
And I have two fosters right now, but I have this kitten, which I don't usually take kittens because they bring in a lot of diseases. But this kitten was found under a porch in our city, and the woman said, I just can't drop him off at the shelter. And I said, the shelter does a great job, but if you want me, why do I involve myself? I said, if I can foster the cat, I have a place
Right.
for him. If you go through the shelter, I promise to foster him. And so she said,
Oh.
yes. I showed you a picture of this little guy because
And
you
the
said
cat
he's
is
got
sleeping with him,
personality.
right? The cat
Yeah,
is sleeping with your son.
with
Good.
both of them. And
Hmm.
my son comes up to me the other night. Now, I don't feel anything weird from this cat, but my
I love your
son,
son. I always
of
love
course you
this
do. He's a
boy.
triple water sign. You and him are like,
Yeah.
so he's crying. And I said, what happened? And he said, I just think it's Callie. I think he's Callie,
I love you. Oh, God, your son's amazing.
but I don't. And I'm like, oh, we
Yeah, you
foster.
know,
Do we need another cat? Do we need to keep this cat? But then how do I
yes.
say no for my son if he,
Oh, no, you can't say no. What are you kidding? You can't say no.
yeah, so my husband and I are like, we're crazy. We don't need a fifth
You're
cat
not
and we don't need
crazy.
a kitten and we don't need to like upset the balance and we need to keep fostering. But I think my son loves this cat. So,
Your son has to have that
uh,
cat. Like, you can't say no. I mean, because but the energy in your house is different since you got that kitten. I could feel it, like from 2 episodes ago to now.
yeah.
The energy is completely different. So I feel like the animals bring that light and bring that love into our homes for a reason.
Hmm.
And, I'm a huge advocate. You rescue and find
Hmm.
homes, which is, you're a light worker. And I bring my gifts as a light worker. We all have our own unique abilities that even if it's helping a little old lady cross the street, that's being a light worker. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
you know. And the truth is we are supposed to, whether people, I have no judgment for what you did in the past, but we are supposed to have our animals from the beginning that they're with us till the very end of their lives. And of course, if they run away, they're meant to go on.
Hmm.
Or they cross over, they're meant to cross over. It was a contract that we had with them, our soul contract with our pets. But we are supposed to, unless you're in rescue like you do, and foster and rehabilitate and find a home, when an animal comes to us, we are supposed to have them for the length of time in their lives because we are transforming through the light of the pet.
Right. They heal.
The healing, the light of the pet, moving us to another level. Our soul moves to another level. There's no judgment if people, I doubt people are going to listen to this that don't have pets,
Right.
but it's really like, even if it was, a Russian hamster that you had when you were a little girl. I remember I did a psychic fair and this little tiny mouse came in, looked like a mouse. And I said to this woman, I'll never forget this woman. And I said, there's a little mouse. And I said, I think it was when you were little. She goes, oh, it was a Russian hamster. Like, I never heard of a Russian hamster or whatever. this is like 25 years ago, and the animal came in and she said, I remember I was having issues in school and I was stuttering and that I stopped stuttering. Like, we do not know
Hmm.
on so many levels why that animal came in. Like, my dog Rosie came in to show me who I really was, not who I thought I was supposed to be. Like, this was not the game plan for me. I was in real estate and, it's a completely different scenario. And here I am talking to
Hmm.
pets and dead people.
So, what about the ones that don't necessarily reincarnate or not yet? Can the souls of the pets stay with us sort of in spirit and continue to maybe work as guides or something of that sort? If do they stay with us after death?
Yeah, they definitely stay with us after death. And if they do not reincarnate, they are part of your angelic team, without a doubt.
Okay. What about that whole idea of they'll meet us in the afterlife? Have you heard people, have you seen any evidence of that? Have you felt that from them, like that they meet us wherever we go next?
What I have found in the afterlife is they run to us first, if that connection is really there. And then we'll have our mothers like coming behind them and saying, Hi, why? They insisted, she ran to you first. Or our parents or our sisters or brothers, even if we did not have a good relationship with them, they will have a tendency to try to make up in the afterlife for us. And so that pet is usually the closest thing to us. Then, like a pet or a child is the closest being to us. And if they are in the afterlife, our previous people that would have crossed take care of them for us, no matter what your
I
relationship
have
was with
heard
them.
that. I always say that my dad's like, Stephanie, another one, because he's got to have like probably 40 animals between my sisters and I by now. So, what are your thoughts then? Sometimes people, we talked about soul pets in, I think, the
Hmm.
last episode. And sometimes people get really stuck on that one connection. And when it's over, they want to like recreate it. Have you heard, like, well, you live near LA, so you probably have heard like people talk about cloning the pet and all this
Hmm.
business. Like, what do you think of all that?
Yeah, I think I wrote about that, but I want to reiterate that. I have heard about cloning. I had an amazing cat that I can't even believe he crossed, and gave me such huge epiphanies when he went to spirit.
Hmm.
And I feel like he's definitely a guide. And he was spinning in my third eye when I was sleeping, and it was very visceral and uncomfortable. It's this big, beautiful black tomcat. And I couldn't wake myself up. And then I realized he's definitely open my psychic abilities and third eye. And I had a friend who had a friend that cloned their cat. And this is like 25 years ago, and it was 35,000 in Los Angeles. The gentleman cloned his cat, and he said it was an exact replica. The difference is a soul can choose to go into your cat or not. We don't know that. And my veterinarian that I trust with all my heart, here in LA, she said cloned animals are not living as long.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I would put myself through that. I would rather rescue another animal,
Right.
either, here's the thing, like people generally will get a puppy or a kitten so the soul can come through, which I do feel your cat, is it Kelly, came through
Callie.
back to your son.
And what's crazy is the timing would have been right because
Yeah. Uh-huh.
if the vet's right about his age, he was born in February.
Mm. Wow.
You're not doing a good job of convincing me not to take another cat right now.
I'm not. If my son came to me and said that, what is your son, 7?
Well, this is JR, so JR's 10.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, the little one loves all the cats. The little one would
yeah,
have
but your
56 cats if he could.
son, you have to trust your son's
Yeah.
intelligence. And that cat feels. Like Callie? You said Callie?
Callie
Kelly?
was the one he lost. This
Yes,
guy is
I
Storm.
feel, yeah, but I feel like he's right about that. So we have
Okay.
to trust our children. They kind of know a lot more than us, as long as they're
Right?
not working you. But I don't think he's working you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I feel like we have to trust him.
Yeah. Crazy. I do you remember that there's some study that was done on animal cloning where it was like a guy was cloning bulls and this one was like this majestic bull, like so even-tempered, so awesome, and then he cloned the next one and it was like a
Crazy.
terrible. Yes. So like
Yeah.
you say the soul has to choose. I don't think there's
Yeah.
any way to guarantee just because it's the right science if the soul is there, you
I
know?
don't know if we should be trying science on animals. There's so many that need homes. But more
Right.
importantly, I don't believe you have to clone a pet to get. There's so many people that clone in LA. I mean,
I can't believe it.
yeah, I've heard many stories. And I also know they don't last as long. Like they
Right.
don't. So I think we need to ask spirit because the closer you are to the soul of the pet that you lost,
Hmm.
like my beautiful friend and client, she became a close friend, kept asking for her dog to come back, please. And how will I know it's you? And how will I know it's you? And it's a very exciting story. It's in my book. And she got her dog back. And she knew it was her dog through the dog knowing all the tricks at only 6 or 8 months, 8 weeks old when she brought the puppy home. Puppies don't have an attention span, but
No,
that
they don't have
puppy,
tricks.
they don't have tricks. So
Yeah.
we knew it was her dog without a doubt.
Yeah. That leads me to the last questions I had on the plan for today. How do you explain when a current pet has some very unique quirk or tendency that a past pet had? Is the answer just like they are that pet, or is there a way that they can come in and sort of
Use
borrow
the
that?
body.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I think I mentioned this before. Animals can easily borrow other animal souls.
Hmm.
Now, if people were doing that, right, it would be insane.
Body
That,
snatchers. Yeah.
right. That doesn't. But if you notice things that would show up, like when I'm personally, if I'm having like a hard day, all of a sudden this bird, same colors, like literally flies right up to my window, flops away, and then flies back.
Mhm.
It's very symbolic. So they say that souls can use winged creatures, dragonflies, butterflies, birds, very easy,
Interesting.
right? To
Yeah.
give us signs and symbols. So why couldn't like my Devo, who loved to stick his head under the bathroom faucet and
Right.
completely dunk his whole head, why wouldn't he show me that in another cat? I'm still waiting for him if he's supposed to come back. I talked to him in spirit,
Hmm.
but maybe he's supposed to stay there. It's how bad do you want him back and how much do you want to talk to the soul of the pet? I always let them decide. Like,
Yeah.
are you, because I have a tendency to really believe this, that a soul is more powerful in heaven for you than they are here on earth. They're a
Hmm.
guide, they're a light, they're a healer on so many levels. So I kind of say to Rosie, if you're gonna come back, come back. But if you want to stay there and be of service, or you need to be there for yourself because it's your karma, I'm good.
Yeah. And you can't discount the fact that, like you said, so many need homes. And even if it's not that same one that's coming back to you, a new one is going to heal you too. So like this
It's
special
just about being
connection.
open. It's
Right.
just like, let's be open.
Yeah.
Let's accept what is rather than what is not. Let's be okay with what we have. Let's be in gratitude for what we do have right now today, for the peace that I have today, for the life that I have today. These are all like important things to really think about. It's like I did a Zoom event Sunday and I had 18 or 19 people and I'm giving readings, and two people came in with tears. This is an event where I can only get to maybe 7 to 9 people in 90 minutes. I give the readings and I have no control over who's coming in. And people would come to me after evidential readings from their loved ones and they'd say, I really was hoping to hear from my animal that just crossed. And I didn't mean to sound sarcastic, but I said, I think you got what you needed rather than what you wanted. And it's all about like, we want to impose and demand what we actually want. Wouldn't it be great if we can win the lottery and have the job of our dreams and the boyfriend or the loved one or the house of our dreams? But we have to be okay with what is and be grateful for the animals that we do have or the love that we shared with the pet that we had. Gratitude. Go back to the memories of love, of tossing frisbees, of throwing steaks, of seeing your dog enjoy. Remember these beautiful, amazing things because the more grateful we are for that, the more beauty and amazing things we attract right to our door rather than think about those last moments, those sad
Right.
times. It's like that with our relatives too. I remember the first time I connected with my mom through a medium spirit, I was running in my brain how she smelled. It was just really bad and how she looked. And it was horrible because I had lost her when I was in my 20s and she didn't want me to remember her like that.
Right.
And this was years before I was a medium, but I was seeing a medium. And isn't that interesting? They don't want us to remember that.
They
They want
don't.
us, because that's just a very limited time in their life. Stephanie, it's
Right.
like if we have a dog, if we're lucky enough to have a dog 12 years, let's say, or 10 years, or a cat 10 to 18 years, if we're lucky enough, they don't want us to remember the last moments of their life, whether
Yeah.
it's 3 months or the last year of their life. They want us to remember all the joy that we shared with them. And it's exactly like that with our deceased loved ones.
Because again, pets are like people and people are like pets. And that's why we do coffee with dogs. What
Yes.
do you want to say here as we end?
Well, I love you all, that's for
Oh,
sure. And if I think what we always talk about is if it wasn't for my people, and I say that all the time, like if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing what I do. So I'm always so grateful when you attend my events or
yes.
when you're interested in talking to your loved ones or pets. And from my soul to yours, and from animals to us all until we meet again. I love you.